Hey there, this is Coach Tanya Smith of TanyaSmithOnline.com, where I enjoy sharing with independent service providers like coaches, consultants, freelancers, anyone who can benefit from it, ways to simplify and stand out with your business. And one of the things that I enjoy sharing are online apps that help you to streamline the things that you do day to day. So today's topic is going to be on online meetings and basically scheduling out your day when you're meeting with people, whether it's individuals or groups, a lead, a colleague, prospect. Lead and prospect are typically the same thing, but a client, it could be anyone that you're meeting with. One of the things that I absolutely just loathe is the idea of phone tag and email tag trying to set up an appointment with someone. And the important thing that I always share with my clients is that you have to make sure that you're setting boundaries, good boundaries, healthy boundaries, so that you're able to enjoy the things that you really absolutely love doing and spend that time that you really need to with the people who are in your life that are considered loved ones. So, saying all that, I'm going to review with you 10 online apps today, and I'm not going to go into extensive detail with each of them because that could make this a lengthy video, but I want to share this with you because recently, as of yesterday, as a matter of fact, we found out that Tungle.me is going to be closing its doors. Yes, you see the sign right there. So December 3rd, they'll be closing their doors. And so what I want to do is to provide for you 10 alternatives for you to use in terms of scheduling meetings online. And the reason why I love online technology is because it tends to integrate with so many different things. So I'm going to share with you in a second kind of a list that I use, a checklist that I use for determining which online app suits my needs, and you may be able to pull some ideas from that particular list. So, Tungle.me is going away. One of the things I really enjoyed about it is the simplicity of use and the fact that you could actually have a what they call a meet me page, so kind of a page where people could go and easily schedule an appointment with you. But what they've done is they've actually decided to refer people to a tool called Doodle, and we'll review that one first. But let me get to the checklist so that I can kind of show you what I've done here. Okay, so for me, when I sit down and actually look at, okay, what kind of tool or app would be best suited for me in terms of an online meeting scheduler, there are a couple of different questions that I'm asking myself. And I want to walk through this with you. One is I want to make sure that there's ease of use for both me and the client. So I don't want to have to struggle and make it complex if I'm trying to set up an appointment with someone, nor do I want the client on the opposite end. And you have to look at who your target market is. What are the demographics? Are they used to online technology, or how complex can you go when it comes to these type of tools? Because if they're not very familiar, you're going to want something that's very simple and intuitive for them to use. So ease of use is really the top of the list for me. The second thing that I look at is I want to be able to control the calendar. And let me give you an example of that. What I mean is some tools will not allow you that flexibility of being able to control how much time a person schedules. So when they go to your meeting tool, they can schedule 2 hours for a meeting or a call that should really only take 15 minutes. So I personally like the ability to be able to set in place a tone for a particular type of meeting. Now, Time Trade, which is one of the ones I'll share with you in a second, really gives you that ability. I love that because you can set up different books based on the amount of time that you think a type of meeting may need. But I digress. I'm going too fast. Okay, so cost friendly. Again, this is something that is important to me in terms of an online meeting tool because I want it to be something that really doesn't require a bunch of monthly fees when I have, as an independent service provider, a limited budget. I want those dollars to go towards something else. So I'd rather either pay a low cost annual fee or let the tool be free. And the fact is, with these 10 different apps, you have your choice. You can pick what works best for your budget and for your particular situation as a business owner or professional. The next thing is that I don't want the other person to have to register for my tool. So I don't want them to have an account in order to be able to schedule an appointment with me. They should just be able to go in, click it, let me know or let the system know which date or time works for them, date and time works for them, and then we both receive a confirmation. I want it to be that simple. Another benefit I do like in my online apps for scheduling is that they have a page at a glance. So Doodle has that, and I'll be able to show you an example in just a second. Let's see, video or phone options. I like the ability to be able to schedule an appointment with someone either over the phone or through Skype as a video option. Maybe not even through Skype, which I'll share with you in a second. There is a tool called VCita that does this very well. But video or phone, because some of the folks that I'm meeting with, depending on the type of meeting, they may want to have that face-to-face contact, and webcam allows you to do that versus a phone. Another thing I want to see is that it integrates easily with my calendaring system. So whether you're using Gmail or Outlook or some other program, you want it to be able to integrate with the calendar, so you're not having to worry about going and manually entering this, because the whole premise is that you're trying to simplify and save time here. Next, I also like the option of allowing a group scheduling, because I want the ability, if there are multiple people that I need to schedule a meeting with, I want the flexibility of being able to schedule an entire group of people, not just an individual, without having to go back and forth and have all these different emails and phone calls flying. So group scheduling tools are absolutely the best. Another thing that's kind of an optional thing for me when it comes to these tools is that I really appreciate those that allow me the benefit of setting up a 15-minute increment versus having to start at 30 minutes or above, because I can honestly, and any of my clients will tell you this, I can get a lot done with a client or with anyone else in a 15-minute span of time. A lot. So I want that flexibility. TimeBridge does that very well. They added that option not too long ago. Well, I said not too long ago, but it's been a few years now. And there are a few other tools that I'm seeing that I'll review with you that have that too. Next, I wanted to, and most of them that will do this, if not all, deliver an automatic confirmation and reminder email, meaning that once the person has scheduled the appointment, they should receive a confirmation. Maybe it's on the screen, maybe they receive an initial page, but I also want them to get an email that says, hey, thanks so much, your appointment has been confirmed, here's the date, time, etc. That way everybody, including myself and the person or persons on the other end, all have a record to go back to confirm what it is, when we're meeting, what time, any details that they need to know. Okay, so that's kind of a handy little checklist that you can kind of take a look at and add to or edit for your own purposes. Now let's get into the 10 tools. All right, so I'm going to start with Doodle. And Doodle is a pretty easy to sign up for. You can sign up with your Gmail or with whatever account that you have in terms of email. It is free of charge to sign up initially. You don't have to necessarily have a registration. Now, I will say that with the premium level, Premium Doodle is pretty inexpensive. I think it's something like $39 a year. There are some other options, but frankly, if you're a solo business owner or independent service provider, you may not need the full scope of the business and enterprise level. Okay, so this I believe is $39 a year, which is a great price. Now, one of the options that I do enjoy about Doodle is that it does, similar to Tungle, it does allow you that page at a glance that I was mentioning, and you can actually assign it with a personal Meet Me URL. So I assign mine, for example, with my name, and that way when people go to this page, just this page at a glance, they'll be able to see what my availability is. They don't actually get to see what exactly I'm doing, but it'll say Tanya's busy. And so they can choose when they would like to have the appointment with me. Now, one of the things you're going to want to look for is this ability to be able to control your calendar. Remember, I mentioned that. So setting what your public availability will be instead of keeping it wide open, meaning that for example, let me give you a really good example. One of the things that I like is the ability to be able to set up office hours. Okay. So I don't want to have to, for example, say that I'm always available, because I don't want people to pull me at any time of day or night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, any of those times. And so what I want to be able to do is to basically set the tone for, my office hours are between 8 and 5 p.m. Typically, I'm available for client appointments between, this time and this time. And you want to be able to do that. Now, I think, honestly, with them, that it may be a premium level that requires that, but I haven't explored that fully yet, so you'll want to take a look and see. You just want that option to be able to set up or choose when you're going to be available to the public, okay? So let me see if I can actually pull back Tungle here and see if this will let me in real fast so you can see what it looks like in terms of the public availability. Let's see if it shows up here. Yes. Okay. So when people see this calendar, when they see my calendar, my page at a glance, and this is what I did love about Tungle. Look at this. Visually, it's appealing, and it does all the things I want it to do. It's very easy to use. Look, they can clearly see when I'm available. Now, honestly, I may have availability at other times, but these are specifically times that I prefer to meet with people. So that way I can coordinate with your energy levels as well. If you know you're not a morning person and you don't want to have, conversations in the mornings on Thursday and Tuesday, then you don't make yourself available at those times. Okay. So again, I can get off topic pretty easily, so I don't want to do that for sake of time. Let's get through the other 9 options for you. But I like this page at a glance option, and I'm hoping that Doodle will have something similar. I believe that they do. I just don't know the extent of that yet, so we'll keep checking into that. Now, the next one I want to review with you is this one, Time Trade, which is one of my staples when it comes to calendaring tools. Time Trade is really awesome, and one of the reasons why it is because it allows you to create what are called scheduling books. And so let me kind of show you what that looks like. Scheduling books are definitely, they are cream of the crop when it comes to scheduling appointments. If you've got a number of different types of people that you're going to be making appointments with. And to give you an example, for my initial phone consultations, I have a particular schedule book. For Skype appointments, I have a particular schedule book. For lunch or coffee, if I'm going to be meeting with someone physically, then I'm going to have a different location that they're going to see. So instead of a phone line, they're going to actually see, for example, let's see right there, they're going to see where I'm going to be located and how they can meet with me. For the laser coaching clinic I set up, I mean, there's just any number of things. For a series, an interview series I'm doing, I've set up a book for that. And the cool thing about these books is that they allow you to schedule your time based on what that particular appointment type will require. So if you know that your 15-minute business chat only requires 15 minutes, well, then you're going to have 15-minute appointment slots. The person will easily be able to choose on your calendar what's available as far as times, and then boom, they just put their information in and get the confirmation. So love Time Trade. Now, they have gone up since I first started using them years ago, but honestly, it's well worth whatever the investment is right now, which I think is still something like under $50 a year. So definitely something worth your while to look into. That's Time Trade. All right, next I'm going to explore, let's see, meetings. Now, meetings is pretty cool. And again, I'm all about visuals. So I love the appealing look of meetings.com. It's meetin.gs, really. MEETIN, as you see right there with a .gs. This is pretty awesome because it integrates with Skype. And I won't go into a whole lot of detail with this but it integrates with Skype so that you can actually have that person on your webcam and you both are looking at different documents that you've put into the content section. You might upload different materials, an agenda that you're going to use. This is a really innovative way to actually meet with clients and to cover documents that maybe you and the client are going to be editing at the same time. Now, you don't have to use a webcam. You can use whatever it is you choose to use. You can use your phone line if you choose to do that. But it's very simple to use. LoveMe10.gs, meetings. I can't say meetings.com since that's not the actual address. Here's another option for you, vCita. Now, I mentioned to you that vCita actually has a really cool video integration. The really exciting thing about vCita that I love the most, and I'll share with you kind of my downside on it, but the thing I love about them the most is that they do allow you to create this widget that goes into, it could be embedded into your website. So there's like a contact form right within, you can create a page in your own website that has the contact form, and a person can actually set up a video meeting, a phone call, or a face-to-face. That is awesome. It's very professional looking. It's a great way to show that you have professionalism in your business if a person can go to that contact us form and have right there at their fingertips, a way to choose. It all sets up great. Now, the one downfall I'll say is unless you purchase their premium level product, okay, unless you pay for it, you're not going to be able to see, for example, the person who's scheduling the appointment with me, you can't see their contact info. So if you need to the flexibility of being able to cancel an appointment or reschedule or something like that at the last minute or even before because something came up, you won't have their immediate contact information. You have to do it all through the vCita app, which is kind of a pain. So if you're going to do this, my recommendation would be to look at investing in the premium level product with vCita, vCita.com. All right, the next one I'll cover is TimeBridge. Now, TimeBridge is another one that I actually have an account with that I do enjoy using, but I will say that lately, very recently, I've had a few problems, and unfortunately, I don't think they have any customer service. And the reason why I say that is because as I had some issues with this system, and I was having a real problem with being able to set up something in their system and to get in touch with someone to ask questions. So that was a problem for me. What I'm trying to find for you right now, see if I can find it this way, is they do have a Meet With Me page as well. So they have that page at a glance tool that I mentioned to you. So if I can find that real quick. So this is pretty awesome, again, that you have that page at a glance where people can go and set up appointments with you. Now, right here, the person who is setting it up for you or with you, they're going to have the ability to be able to set up the duration. So you do kind of lose a little bit of control there, but if you set expectations up front about what amount of time you think the person should be setting up, that's great. Or you can always send them a confirmation with a different time frame or something to that effect, or whatever you need to do. So they have a little bit more control, but you do have the page at a glance feature. This is a free tool, so I couldn't complain too much when I couldn't get customer service. But I was a little irritated, and I did find that as I started looking into things on their blog, really the last blog was something like 2009 or 2010. So I don't know how active they are behind the scenes, but it does pretty much run on automatic. So if you're not having any problems, it is a great tool. Let me show you something that's a real cool feature about them. When you schedule a meeting with TimeBridge, let me show you something here. This is pretty awesome. When you're setting that meeting, you can choose, it's going to pull from your calendar. So let me just pretend I'm setting up a meeting with my friend Andrea Feinberg at Morphing Time Zone. And I'm just putting a couple of things in there, and I'm telling her this is a test. And you can choose their audio conferencing feature, which is pretty awesome because that's a free tool that comes with this. But the really neat thing is right down here where you can actually set an agenda, put action items, add attachments from Dropbox. not from Dropbox, my bad, from box.net if you have an account there, and even add notes. So that is pretty, I haven't seen that with any of the other tools out there. That's a pretty unique feature. But TimeBridge, again, like I said, I've had some technical problems with being able to get on their page a couple of times that created some frustration for me. Now, remember we talked about groups. You can actually create group appointments here. You can set up a new group if it's a group that you're going to be consistently needing to share availability with, and that's a pretty cool feature too. All right, moving on. Let's get to our next one, Meetomatic.com. Actually, Meetomatic, it's a good one, but this is where I probably get into, these are some of the, I wouldn't call them my primary choices, the ones that I'll deliver to you right now from this point through the rest of our time. These are not my priority choices, but they may work for you, so it's definitely worth taking a look at. To sign up for certain features, you will have to pay. Okay, but if you want to use just the basics, all you're doing basically is going to their site, filling in a few dates, putting a name for your meeting, typing in your email address, and then clicking go. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a link. So let's say you want to only make them during the day. You'll click here as go, and then it's going to send you an email which you can forward on to other people. So again, this still requires a bit too much more manual work for me, but it is another option for you to create meetings. Definitely look into it if you're looking for something like this. Setster, same thing. Setster is actually pretty pricey when it comes to online scheduling apps, but it's very very professional looking, but you are going to be paying a $19.95 a month fee per year. What I've seen is a lot of doctors, lawyers, hairdressers, and that type of thing that are using this particular tool. So again, it may be worth a look for you. You just want to take a look and see if the features will be justifying the price that you're going to be paying. Okay, they do have a video tour that you can actually watch and get more details about Setster.com. All right, whenisgood.net. You don't want to go to .com. It's whenisgood.net. Another one that's, not my prime priority when I look at online tools for scheduling, but it is another option for you. It's very simple to use. Basically, you're going to do what they said and create a grid, okay, of times that you're going to be available for the event. You're going to name the event, test event here, and then tell it if you want only like 15-minute increments, 30 minutes, a whole day, 60 minutes, whatever. And then it's going to put that event grid. You'll want to copy that. I have saved the results code, and then you can send people to this link, okay? And it will show the various times that are there. So when the person is ready to send their response, because you've sent this link out, say, to a group of people, when they've sent the response, they're going to add their name and any comments right there, send a response, and it will send you an update based on the grid of what the best time frame will be for that meeting. So that's neat. There is a free account. There are 2 free accounts, but there's also a premium and a branded account that you can create. Okay, so another gridded version. Now, one that I didn't pull up, and I wanted to kind of pull this one up in order, so let me type it in real fast because I want you to see this, is Boomerang Calendar. Boomerang Calendar. Now, I love Boomerang for Gmail because it is awesome. It's a great way to actually set up pre-scheduled emails that are going out, and I'm talking about Boomerang for Gmail. Set up pre-scheduled emails that go out to people, so you want to look into that. Boomerang Calendar is similar in that it integrates with your Gmail, so you've got to have a Gmail account. It doesn't work with any other tools, but it integrates so that if you're simply sending someone an email with, and you literally have put in plain English a date and time or a couple of dates and times, it will recognize dates and times within the actual email that either you are sending someone else or they're sending you. And it can automatically plug into your GCal, your Google Calendar tool. So if you're a person that's using Google Apps or all Google products, typically like I am, Boomerang Calendar is a great option for that. The one thing I don't really like about it is when it sends on the day of the event, it will send people an automatic email, everybody who's part of that particular invite that you've confirmed in your calendar. It'll send them all a note that says, hey, I'm just making sure we're still on for today or something like that. And I want to be able to have the flexibility of changing the verbiage that goes into that reminder. So heads up, Boomerang Calendar, if you're listening, I hope you'll think about doing that for folks. But this, again, is a free tool, which I really enjoy free. Always try free first is one of my Tanya-isms. And you can download it to integrate with your Gmail pretty fast and easy to use. Again, you'll see the video tour that you can take right here, and you'll find different options. You can use it for group functions as well, although I think that's a bit clunky, so I don't know that I would use it in that regard. Now, the reason why I wanted you to see that after I showed Meet-O-Matic is because it operates kind of on the same grid functionality, okay, where you've got this kind of grid thing going on, all right? Very similar in terms of what it sends to you and to your clients. All right, let's see. We went to When is Good. You've seen that. Let's go to Meeting Wizard, which is my 10th and final app for you. So Meeting Wizard is also a free service. I saved this one for last because it's probably my least favorite of all of them, but yet again it is another option for you. What I encourage you to do is to go and take the tour. It's not as visually appealing to me, but it does the job in that you can pretty easily set up a new meeting. You propose a couple of dates and times, put that information in there. I'm not going to go through the process here, but you can set up your meetings using this tool as well. You can create an address book where you have people that you're commonly sending stuff to. I think that you actually have to have, no, you don't have to have an account. Let me see if I can find that real quick here. I think you benefit from having an account because of different reasons, but you can have a free account. And I believe that there is also an upgrade that you can do, okay, with Meeting Wizard. I believe that there is one. Now, look at that. There is not a teleconference service. So remember, we looked at TimeBridge and there was a teleconference number that automatically came with it. Apparently, there's not one with them. But again, that's real easy, because if you don't have a conference line number that you're using, go to freeconferencecall.com and you can set one up really fast. Or freeconferencepro.com is another one as well. All right, so to recap, let me kind of go through and tell you again. This was the checklist that I used: ease of use, control. I control the calendar, all of these other things that you see here. And then here are the 10 apps for online meetings that we actually reviewed: Doodle, TimeTrade, Meetin.gs, vCita, TimeBridge, Setster, Meet-O-Matic, Boomerang Calendar, WhenIsGood.net, and Meeting Wizard. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this recording of the 10 online apps that I use for scheduling meetings. And if you want more free information, resources, ways to simplify and stand out, feel free anytime to visit me at TanyaSmithOnline.com. I would love to hear from you and to help you to get yourself into the mode of thinking of time and money saving tools so that you can focus on those things that generate profit directly for your business. So feel free to also come and check us out so that you can get your free business systems wheel, which is a really cool and simple to use assessment, and subscribe for my updates weekly. Not a lot of information that you have to dive through and dread getting each week, but more of a recap of different resources for productivity and online branding. So that's it, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care.